All right, let's take a look at Will's fall in review. Let's start first with the pitch speed column. Will came in to fall after a brief ramp period with a max pitch speed of 48 miles an hour. This is consistent with what I radared him in the spring games at the end of the season. So he didn't lose anything, he didn't gain anything. So you can see very clearly that as the weeks and months are going by, that there is some very steady progress going on with his pitch speed until he reaches 55. Now, I want to give some perspective on this jump that he's made within this very reasonably short amount of time. It's pretty typical to see 5 miles an hour per calendar year of progression when they're actually working and trying to optimize for this. So likely we got some low-hanging fruit as far as the pitch speed, because a jump of this magnitude in just a few months is the stuff of Instagram commercials. So it's incredible. I want to give some perspective on this. So let's go over here. This is from an organization called Perfect Game, if you're not familiar with it. Most travel ball organizations will not play a Perfect Game event, as the Perfect Game events are the top tier of travel ball events. So the top teams in the nation will go to these events. Often these teams are recruited with their member base from all over the United States, the biological outliers, to come in and specifically form for that particular tournament. So the level is very high is what I'm trying to communicate. And they track the speed of every pitch and every game of every pitcher, and they log it on their website. So this is updated in real time, and they do it by class. So Will is a 2031. I just pulled up a random person's performance just so we could see it. And you can see that the class average as of today for 2031 is 54 miles an hour. So that would put Will just above that 50th percentile. It's probably like 55 percentile or something like that. And this is amazing because first, you might have heard me say a lot about 60 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, but that is for 12 views. And 60 miles an hour is that 50th percentile for high-level travel pitchers, which is what you see as the top all-star pitcher in on a good team that is winning and successful. So that's kind of like why I chose that metric. So I'm trying to communicate that you're meeting that kind of standard for your age category, which is just incredible. So if you think about the progression from 48 miles an hour, which is probably close to like the 20th, 30th percentile, all the way up to, around 55 percentile or so, that is very, very meaningful progress in this fall year. Let's go back to this here, and let's take a look at the actual videos of the progress. So here is his first. So he's able to hit 48 miles an hour. And I want to draw something that he did continuously better throughout these videos, which if you notice, he's setting with his chest towards third base, and it more or less remains there as he's pitching. And the most important contributing factor to velocity, which is something that the research world figured out just maybe 10 years ago, is the importance of hip to shoulder separation. So your hips going forward and your shoulder staying towards third base at foot strike. So we can kind of place the athlete in a spot for success if we preset our chest closed. And I'll show you what I mean, because you'll start to see this as he ticks up in velocity. So here's another one, getting some
50 miles per hour.
gains.
52 miles per hour.
Now, this one was kind of a eureka moment for him because you can see, we talked about this in practice, is that we can see his chest towards the camera here, and that is called presetting closed. So when he gets into foot strike, his chest is more likely to be facing towards third base and not leak open early, and his hips are in a better fighting chance to be able to face home plate, even though they weren't here. That's where he's getting the extra velocity. So, just something of note and something to watch out for.
53 miles per hour. 54 miles per hour.
That was strike, baby.
And you can see it on this one as well. That was a strike, baby. That we're seeing a little bit more of that East Fullerton logo into foot strike. He did a little bit better job at foot strike with this one of keeping his hips more forward. The younger kids, they want to square their hips completely towards third base at foot strike, and he's starting to get a little bit more of that hip to shoulder separation as he gets going. And last.
55 miles per hour.
Ding, 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 ding.
Didn't have the bell that time. So let's go up here to bat speed. So he started out with a bat speed of 43 miles an hour. And when using a drop 10 bat, the bat speed will approximate the pitch speed with most athletes. So if I see that there's a discrepancy between the bat speed and the pitch speed, I know that there is some low-hanging fruit in which to mine, and we can push a little bit harder on that aspect because it is in the tank, so to speak. So the discrepancy at the beginning was 5 miles an hour. So as we go, we fast forward to 9:15, where it's 49 miles an hour on the bat speed, and we match it up with 9:15 on the pitch speed. You can see that we've narrowed that gap to just 3 miles an hour, 49 to 52. And that'll be something to continuously mine in the future. Now, we pulled away from measuring the bat speed as we went along, so I didn't really get any measurements into October and beyond. But that's something to continue to focus on, because if Will gets his bat speed up to that mid to upper 50 mark, then you're going to notice that something magical happens, and it's sufficient bat speed to hit at 200 feet over that back fence, which is really, really fun because he definitely has a very good launch angle to his swing, and his bat is through the strike zone on plane with the pitch for a very long period of time. So if you just add that, get that up to the mid 50s, that's going to be a really fun time for him in spring. So anyways, that's the overview of his fall in review. Thank you so much for being on the team and investing in the team. It was really a great pleasure to have Will.